Alrighty.
So yeah, nice and gentle stretch
This afternoon, just kind of doing like a body scan, starting from the toes and taking it all the way up to the top. But to begin with, I'm just going to start with some shoulder rolls. I know I said starting from the bottom, but just to get our breath and a little bit of movement coming in. So we're going to bring our shoulders all the way up to our ears, so bringing them forward, bringing them up to our ears, bringing them back, and then pushing them up down. And we're going to do this with breath. So we're breathing it in, big inhale in, and as we exhale, we take our shoulders back and down, lifting it up. And pulling it back and down. Lovely. And you can always start with smaller movements and taking it a bit bigger as you start to stretch out a little bit more. Lovely. And changing direction. This time starting going around the back, still breathing in as we take the shoulders up and down in the front. And down. And last one here. And lovely. So just bringing your feet together, about hip width distance apart. And we're just going to take one ankle up and then switch it over and take the other ankle up. Hopefully you can see this, never need to step further back. So just taking it up and then switch it over. And we're going to kind of lift up and over, up and down, up and down. I don't know how good my microphone is, but you might be able to hear my toes clicking then. They're really clicky. So just gently taking it up and down, taking it right into the ball of the foot. Lovely. Good. And then just taking one foot at a time, just step it out slightly, and I want you to circle your ankle round. So keeping your ball of your foot staying on the floor, and then you're just circling the ankle around it. Yeah, lovely. Once you've done it a few times one way, change directions the other. And again, just starting off with small circles and then taking it bigger and bigger as it starts to feel a little bit more stretched out in the ankle. You don't take that much tension for ankle, surface and warm up. But it's particularly handy if you're wearing a lot of heel work, things like that. And it's just nice to pay them a little bit of attention. Lovely. Switching it over to the other leg, and then again starting with small circles. And then taking it a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger as you start to open up in the ankle a little bit more, getting a little bit more movement there. Lovely. And then changing direction once you've done it a few times one way, a few times the other. And then just kind of listen to your body. If you want to want to go back the other way, or just doing one on each. Sometimes I just try to like listen and make, if there's like a particular position where I want to hold my ankle, then just kind of hold it where it feels like that stretching is a little bit more, maybe it feels a little tense and you can squeeze it out by holding it there for a touch longer. Lovely. Good. Bringing your feet back together, so hopefully they feel nice and warmed up and a little bit looser. Bringing your feet together, bringing your knees together. I want you to bring your hands onto your knees and you're going to draw circles with your knees. Yeah, good. Lovely. I really love this movement because it actually starts to stretch the side of my legs as well. So just across here on the sides, you might feel it just a little bit. And then changing direction. And as always, start with small circles and as you start to be a little bit comfortable, into bigger circles and bigger still. Almost imagine you've got a pen in between your knees and you're trying to draw a circle. It's some imaginary paper. Lovely. Good. A little bit of movement there. Fabulous. Okay, so we're going to start with the bottom. So now we're going to start with the soleus, which is just at the bottom of our calf. So our calves here, it's called gastrocnemius, the muscle, but the soleus is just underneath. I don't know why it's called a soleus. It always makes me think that it should have something to do with the sunshine. Okay, so you want to have your feet in line with your hips. So you're almost like, imagine they're on two trolley tracks, but not in line with one another, they're in line with your hips still. And there's just a little step in front. So I'm maybe 10 centimeters apart from my back toes to my front heel. And my weight is perfectly distributed in between the two legs. So I'm not leaning further forward and I've not got my weight in my back leg. I've got my weight evenly balanced between the two. And from here, I just gently bend your knees and you should bring your weight straight down. And the leg at the back should start to feel like it's tensing up in your soleus. So right at the bottom, just above your ankle, it'll just feel like really stretching. It's kind of like a weird sensation. It almost feels like it's gone hard, but this will just be stretching out the muscle. often people forget to stretch this muscle, but it's super helpful because when we want to stretch our muscles, because they overlap with other muscles, it's really important to stretch the smaller ones to then be able to stretch your bigger ones better. So, for example, people often have tight hamstrings at the back of their the back of their legs, but you want to be stretching your calf and your glute as well as your hamstring to get a proper stretch out of it. Lovely, good. And from here, just straighten that leg out. Take a slightly bigger step forward with your front leg, and then leaning forward, push your back ankle into the floor and bend your front leg. So you want to keep a straight line from the top of your head all the way to the back of your ankle. And you should just feel that stretch has gone up the leg slightly into your calf. So just this muscle right at the top here. It's called your gastrocnemius. I thoroughly enjoy saying that word. It's just such a nice, you know, one of them words that just feels nice to say. I don't know what you want to say. My favourite word is cuddle. I think that's a nice word to say. Lovely. So just holding it here, breathing into that stretch. And really pushing into the toes, pushing into the heel, particularly back leg. Feeling around supporting me as well. If you want to deepen it, you can lean forward ever so slightly. That's good. And then you bring the weight to your back leg, flex up your front foot, front toe. You might start to stretch out the calf at the back here. And what I want you to do is almost like bending your hips. I want you to tilt your hips out. So the more you tilt your hips out and away from you, almost like your tailbone is trying to come up, the deeper the stretch will be on your front leg in your hamstrings. And from here, you want to rest on your bent leg. So if you want to hold yourself here, I don't think anywhere, but you want to rest onto your bent leg, not on the leg that you're stretching. And again, as always, squeeze your quad muscle to make sure that your leg is super straight. So the leg is super straight. So just start to stretch out the back of the hamstrings there. Lovely. And then let's switcheroo over to the other side. So we've now got different front leg, different back leg. And they are just a little bit in front of each other, hips are in line. And we're just going to bend our knees ever so slightly, just to feel that stretch in the back leg, under in your soleus, just underneath your calf muscle. So just bending it straight down. Lovely, just feeling that stretch out. And you might notice, and say like my right leg was much more intense than my left leg. I can hardly feel this on my left leg. If you can't feel the stretch, it just means that muscle hasn't, it doesn't need as much stretch. So don't worry if you don't feel it that much, that's fine. Just doesn't need the stretch as much as perhaps the other leg is. Lovely. One more breath here. Lifting it up, so slightly step forward with your front leg. Pin the back heel down to the floor, bend your front leg, and then lean yourself forward. So you're in a straight line all the way from the top of your head, all the way to the back ankle. Just feeling the stretch into your calf. I do love a calf stretch. Actually, anyone with knee injuries, calf stretches are really good because they can tighten all of the back. Yeah, stretch on the back of the knees, which causes havoc with the knees in general. So it's good to stretch them out. And if you wear heels, it's also really good to stretch out your calves a lot, because when you wear heels, you'll naturally start to truncate your calf muscle because it's always in contraction. So it's just really good to stretch them back out. And from here, you're going to back leg, bending at knee, flexing your front foot up, and then tilting your pelvis out and away. So tilting it away will just deepen that stretch down the back of the hamstring. And again, if you want to rest on your bent knees, and don't put any weight onto your straight leg. Lovely. And just breathing through that stretch, starting to feel the stretch a little more in the back of the hamstrings. Lovely. Fabulous. One more breath here. Lovely. Fabulous. Now, you can do this with nothing to hold on to, but you might want to hold on to a wall or a sofa or the garden gate if you're outside, just for a bit of balance. I want you to get your foot onto your knee. So I've got my right foot onto my knee. I'm going to actually flex this foot, so it will just start to feel that little bit more tension where we need it, and it will just deepen the stretch. And what we're going to do is just bend our bottom knee. So I'm just kind of gone from straight leg, just sitting it back. You're going to stretch down the side of the leg into the button a bit more here, pushing that knee down. Lovely, just holding it here a little bit. You should be able to balance. If you're getting dead good, see if you can balance. If not, you've got something near you to hold on to. Lovely. And then let's go to the other side. So lifting the ankle onto the knee, like so. flexing up that front foot, and then you're going to bend in the hips, bending in the knee, just to sit yourself back and feeling the stretch down the side of the leg into the butt cheek. Pushing this knee down away from you. One more breath here. And stretching back out. Now, next we're going to have quads at the front. So knees together, picking up the back leg. Try not to kick your pant like I am. Holding on to the ankle. And what I want to do here, I'm going to try my top so you can see that clearly, is bringing your knees together, push your hips forward. So you see where I've kind of like gone from like a normal position, hips are neutral. You're really pushing your hips forward and kind of like squeeze your butt cheek, because that will be the opposite to your hip. So we're stretching our hip flexor and all of the quad muscles at the front here. Bringing your foot all the way to the back. If you can push it into your butt cheek, absolutely brilliant. Lovely. Just feeling that beautiful stretch all down the front of the leg. Lovely. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale. Lovely. If this feels okay and you want to take it slightly deeper, you're welcome to take your knee slightly behind your other knee. Still keep it close, but take it slightly behind and deepen the stretch. Everybody don't want to if it's in line with your knee is enough of a stretch, but you can take it deeper if you wish to. Lovely. And relax. Switch that over to the other side. Lifting up the back, the leg up to the back. Knees stay together. And then again, we're going to sit, we're going to take a deep stretch. Straighten yourself up and then push your hip forward. So the more you push your hip forward into this, the deeper the stretch will feel in the quad and in the hip flexor as well. Just pushing it forward here. Do you know what? I never really think that I use my quads that much. Obviously I do, but not loads. I like some other people might use it. I know that I tend to kind of not use them as a focus, but they always need a good stretch. They always feel like a really massive stretch. So maybe I use them more than I think. Lovely. Big deep breath in. Exhale. Next time I still feel like it's tense, but maybe feel like it's lessened slightly. If you wish to, you can take this into a deeper stretch as we did on the other side by taking your knee slightly further back. Keep pushing it forwards. Pelvis is tucked underneath. Tailbone tucking under. One more breath here. And exhale. Really nice. And letting that leg go down. Just giving yourself a little walk. That was quite intense on my knees towards the end. But that was really nice. Oh, I'm so stretched. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to work on our hips a little bit more. So what I want us to do is keep our back nice and straight and attach our hips. So you normally will separate our hips and almost do a rotation in the lower back. This time we want to have a nice straight back and hips attached as well. So we're going to start with pushing our hips forward. So keep our back straight and hips pushing forward. Then take it to the side. Then take it to the back, and I'm leaning forward as a result. Then take it to the other side, and take it forward. And we start joining those movements together, but keeping the back straight. So I'm kind of leaning forward, round, back. Start with a small circle, and then as you walk up, a bit bigger. And I want you now to draw your biggest circle you possibly can with your hips. Lovely. And then let's change direction. Just starting with a small circle. And draw motions forward, side, back, other side. And then starting to feel you can take it a little bit bigger. Lovely. And then your biggest circles yet. Taking it, pushing it as round as far as you can. Keep it back straight. Lovely. Last circle. And then taking yourself back up. Lovely. As you said, often we feel a bit of soreness in the lower back. So this is one of my favourite lower back stretches. We stay in our standing position with a slight bend in our knees, interlink our fingers underneath our knees. So it's kind of like just tucked underneath my knees here. I just interlink my fingers like so. You can also hook them this way, so kind of hook fingers on fingers. Sometimes I prefer that. I feel like I'm going to get better grip. And so what I need to do is, so you can see the shape a little bit. When I'm in this position, I've got my back straight, and then I can like tuck my pelvis under, and then pull on my arms, and I'll start to stretch out the back. So I'm really rounding out the back. And then if I focus on my lower back, they're like pushing into the stretch. So I'm really kind of like pushing out, like through this part of my back, like pushing that out, and that will deepen my stretch in that specific area. You can also try moving your hips and bending your knees to get it to focus on one muscle, on one side of the muscle or the other side. So if you're in a back, you have two muscles that line outside, line at the bottom of our back. Quite nice to just stretch one at a time, just to really feel stretching that one muscle. It just helps to engage it and make it that one focus. And I find if I pull my shoulder to here, it just helps to get that right bit. Just having a little movement in your shoulders, maybe stretching out the upper back a little bit more, and then bringing it up when you're ready. That one's also really nice to do if you've got something like a pillar to hold on to. So instead of holding around the back of your knees, you can like hold low onto a pillar and then pull on that. And you can also bring your feet next to your pillow and then pull back on the pillar. You can door frame as long as you've got enough space. I don't have that much space next to my door frame, so but that's also really nice. You can kind of like hook onto that. I feel kind of loose and goosey. I'm going to do some chest rotations next. So what I want to do is just to open up our chest a little bit more. I'm going to imagine right in the middle of our chest is our sternum. Imagine that's got a pen and that's going to be drawing the circles. So you're going to start with pushing it forward. So I'm going to open it up, really opening up my chest here, bring my elbows round back, then take it to one side. Then take it round the back, hollowing out the body. Take it to the other side. And then back to the front. And then we'll start with small circles, taking it all the way round. Lovely. Making it a little bit bigger. And biggest possible ones. All the way around, holding back to each of the sides. Lovely. Change direction, starting in just small rotations. And then as you feel, as you're stretching into it a little bit more, you can take it bigger and take it all the way to the side, all the way to the back, all the way to the front. Just feeling that rotation, like you're drawing those circles as big as you possibly can. Lovely. Good. Lovely. Let's open up our chest that little bit more. Often when we sit down, this is an area which we naturally round forwards. If you know that you naturally have round shoulders, it's probably one of the main reasons is because your chest muscles are too tight, which is common for majority of people, especially people who do pole, and especially people who sit in a car, and especially people who sit with a desk. We round our shoulders. So we always open our chest, make sure we're holding our shoulders back. So I want you to interlink our fingers at the back, pulling our hands down. I'm always really open up the chest here. So instead of just having them down behind me, I'm pulling my shoulders back, and then I start to look up to the sky as well. Keeping the pelvis neutral, try to arch you back to you, but just to focus in the chest, opening up the chest, opening up the front of the shoulders maybe a little bit here. Okay, lovely. And take it to a slightly deeper stretch, take it more to shoulders and down into biceps as well. You can lift your hands away from you. Lovely. Taking them as high as you can away from your body. Keeping them shoulders down. Opening up that chest even more. Lovely. And relax. Do that again. The reason I wanted to focus on it a little bit more is because often we have rounded shoulders. It's really common to see everyone has, a lot of people have that, but also because when we have anxiety, it tends to sit just on top of that chest. That's where we tend to feel tighter. So if anyone's feeling anxious, and I'd be surprised if anyone wasn't feeling anxious with what's going on in the world at the moment or these days, and we tend to hold it in our chest quite a lot. That's where anxiety is quite often found. So it will be drawing us in. So that's why people often feel tight-chested, or that tightness in their chest, and so often that's anxiety tightening that chest up. So it's really just handy just to open it back out and help our breathing, help us feel like we can breathe deeper than we have done perhaps at recent days. So it's again, so into the back, pulling the shoulders down, opening up this chest, looking up to the sky, keep pelvis neutral, pulling the hands down to the floor. Just breathing it here. When you take a big deep breath in, feel the muscles start to expand. Opening out. Lovely. And then let's take the hands up slightly further away from the body. Feeling the stretch coming into the biceps and the arms, into the shoulders. Lovely. And relax. Good. Let's take into our shoulders, particularly our shoulders. So we're going to take our arm across, and then we're going to give it a little pull. I want you to really focus on the arm being super straight. So try not to bend at the elbow. So bring the other arm, pull it. You can either pull it in on the lower arm or on the upper arm. Just avoid the joint. So just avoid holding it on the elbow. But the main focus is to keep it a straight arm. I want you to have a nice long neck. So pull your shoulder down. Don't be all up here. Pull your shoulder down and pull it across your chest. You start to stretch down into the middle of the top bit of the arm. So that deltoid, that little muscle right on the edge. We use that one a lot in pole. And if we're doing any headstands or handstands, this one gets used a lot. So nice big stretch here. One more breath here. Lovely. Release the bottom hand and then turn your hand the other way round. So your thumb comes down to the floor. Lift the arm back in and then give it another pull round. Now you might notice this stretch goes slightly further round. So it's going to slightly different part of the muscle, and it'll come down into the humerus as well. So it comes down into the arm a little bit. Just where that muscle starts to attach to the arm. This is, you might not feel this too much. In fact, I'm not feeling this too much today. But when somebody headstands or forearm stands or handstands, oh my days, this muscle, this stretch is just really hits the spot. So definitely try it again when you've been doing those activities. Lovely. And then that's switching over to the other side. Make sure you have a nice straight arm and then just pulling it in. So thumb facing up. Nice long neck, pulling that shoulder down. So pulling it across the chest. I know this can be quite tricky if you've got moved away, but just do your best to like shuffle things out of the way or move more down, just so that we can really get into that stretch as long as we've got a nice long neck and pulling that shoulder down. One more breath. And then let's switch it over. So bring that thumb down. So we're just twisting it round, giving it another pull in, and you should start to feel it coming down in a different part, same sort of, maybe on the edges. So I feel like going down side slightly more, so one of the edges, and then coming down into my arm as well. Okay, keep breathing, nice calm breath. Nice pulling the shoulders down. Okay. I must admit, there's been a slightly selfish reason why I did those today. I woke up last night with cramps in my shoulders. Oh, and it hadn't stretched me enough, so I definitely wanted to do a shoulder stretch in case anybody else is going through the same thing. Okay, lovely. So moving on to the back of the arms. So bringing the hand onto your shoulder, and then you pull your elbow up to the sky. Into the back of the arm in our tricep here, and give it a little push up. Now, if you want to take this into a deeper stretch, you can take your hand over the top and give it a pull back. It's also kind of deep in that stretch. I personally like to take it behind my head and give it a little push back with my head. Just be really conscious here that when you do a back stretch, loads of people arch their back and tilt their hips into it. Keep your pelvis neutral. Let's keep the lower back out of this. Doesn't need to get involved. Lovely. And again, if you want to and maybe even touch your fingertips. And if you can hook your fingertips together, that can pull it down and maybe take it into a deeper stretch. Sometimes I don't find it really hits the right muscle for me quite bad. So it is sometimes, like here I can feel it now coming down slightly to the base of my tricep a little bit more, whereas here it's all on the side. So it's really nice to have it play with all of the movements and all of the positions and see which bits hold tension for you and where you kind of feel it. If this feels like you're here and you can't reach your other hand, then grab something like a t-shirt, a towel, or I like to use like my dressing gown string. I can literally grab it down the back, pull it down. So it might be, even if I can't reach with my two hands together, I can just use something like a t-shirt or dressing gown, like this, just around the middle, or a belt, anything like that. Or you might have straps at home. That will also work. Okay, lovely. Let's switch over to the other one. So hand on shoulder, give it a little push up. I'm just feeling where that stretch is. So for me, I start to feel this on the side when I'm here. So the side of my tricep a little bit more. And then as I take my hand over the top, it starts to go more to the middle. As I take it behind my head, it kind of stays in the middle, but starts to go a little bit more around the sides. And then if I want to reach behind, whether I can hold it with my hands, now I can reach my hands. But I actually sometimes prefer using a strap. I just find it just gets it slightly deeper into that stretch. And I can pull down with my strap a little bit as well to take it into a deeper stretch. I do prefer using a strap as opposed to using, or my dressing gown tag, as opposed to using my hand on hand. Actually, I find it hits a better spot for me, just where I've used my muscle. So it's not, there's no right or wrong. It's more about where in the muscle you've used, and where it feels like just that biggest stretch, and you'll notice it where it feels tension, or you might be like, oh, I don't really feel anything in this muscle at the moment, and it's probably just because you've not used that muscle lately, and that's why it's not feeling too tense. So it's really just kind of listening to the body, respecting the body, and what it needs right now. Lovely, and relax. Okay, lovely. So we're just going to do our side stretch here. So reaching up with your right hand. Oh, I've cut off my fingers, but you can see them in the mirror, so you can see they're straight. Big deep breath in here, lengthening up the spine, lengthening all of this side, lifting up the shoulder. Then we're just going to lean ourselves sideways. So I've got my feet nice and comfortably apart, and I'm just reaching over. This hand is just gliding down, no way into it, just to keep it a little bit balanced. I'm just feeling this beautiful stretch all down the side, feeling it in between each of your ribs. Maybe take it around a little bit further. Try to keep your hips squared, tip them over. Lovely. And then relax. Taking it over to the other side. Big stretch up. And now long back and then reaching it all the way through. Stretching all the way through. Oh my goodness, I feel this way more on this side than I do on the first side. Isn't it interesting? Lovely. Fabulous. Taking it back to side one. Another big deep breath in. Exhale as you go forward. As you rotate slightly, lean ever so slightly, taking your chest up to the sky, armpit up to the sky. And then switch over to the other side, reaching it up, big deep breath in. Lengthening the back, lengthening the spine, and taking it over. And then again, twisting it round, starting to feel that stretching shoulder in the chest, open it up, armpit trying to face the ceiling. And then take it back up. Lovely, that's really nice actually. Okay. Have I done? I'm just checking my little list, make sure I've done it in time. Good. I'm checking my time. Oh, my days have gone over. Let's finish with our neck. So I was hoping to do deep stretch in my legs, but I'll just focus on neck now. For our neck, so we're just going to take our ear over to our shoulder. And I want you just to rest it here for a moment, and just keeping your shoulders, pulling them down. So just having to bring your shoulders to you, keep pulling down. And just need to just take that moment just to feel the stretch, and just start to feel the weight of your head pulling your ear ever closer towards your shoulder. One day I want to find my ear with the shoulder. I don't think we will. Just feeling that stretch all down the side of the neck here. Lovely. Now with the opposite hand, finding my right ear over to my right shoulder. So my left hand, I want to just push that down, and that will really intensify the stretch all down the side of my neck. Also, got a lot of tension and anxiety in the necks. So this is why it's really good to focus on stretching it out. Lovely. And then with the right hand, feeling it right shoulder, keep that joint down, just pick it up and just place it on the top, just so you can feel that even a little bit deeper. And then relax, lovely. Switching it over to the other side, and just starting to feel just the weight of your head, just bringing that stretch into its, starting to ease into the more. Pulling the shoulders down. You're right, your arms, look like you're having shoes. Fabulous. And again, just pushing away with the opposite arm. So I'm leaning my left ear into my left shoulder, so I'm pushing away with my right arm. And this will just intensify that stretch all down the side. Lovely. And lifting that right hand, my left hand, sorry, and just placing it on the top. But again, you don't need to push down on it. It's just the extra weight just takes it into a slightly deeper stretch. And then lifting it off. Taking your head up and then completely facing it down. Oh, you just interlink your fingers and then just place your hands on top of your head, just feeling the stretch coming all down the back of the neck. And just breathing, feeling any tension melting away. It's really important to stretch out our neck, particularly if we have headaches, often because we have tightness in our neck, right at the top of our back, and that's causing pressure in our neck, and that's causing headaches. Just turn your head from side to side, as if you're shaking your head, saying no, just feeling where any tension might be. And if you feel tension, go for it, just hold it in that space until the tension starts to melt away. And you can find a new spot. Or just keep that movement going. And then taking yourself back up on top of your head. Lovely. I just want to end with kind of like a bit of meditation almost. Just keep breathing. It's kind of like maybe like a movement meditation, I guess. I want you to put your hands together and rub your hands together. That's absolutely lovely. Generating all that heat and lovely. And then you're going to do 2 claps and then rub it again. Lovely. Getting that heat. Lovely. Bring the hands together. Pushing into the hands. Push, 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 push. Lovely. I want you to step your hands maybe about an inch. I want you to just see if you can feel the heat energy that you've just created in between your hands. You might be able to feel it just bouncing between palms. Slightly further apart, and then in, and slightly further apart, and in. I just feel that energy. Almost feels like a little ball, that magnetic field that you're just pushing nice and gently. I do just a little bit the energy in between my hands. A little magnetic field. You might not be able to feel anything, don't worry if you can't. And I want you to bring that energy to anywhere that you're feeling any particular tightness. So maybe if you're feeling any tense in your back of your neck or your legs or your lower back, or if you're finding it particularly tricky emotionally, maybe you want to hold it into your heart. And I want you to just place your hands where you want that energy. So it might be in your heart, just bringing all that energy into your heart, or it might be on the back of your neck, or it might be that you're just bringing it into your lower back. So just pulling that energy right into that spot where you really need it for you today. And in. Lovely. I'm really, really happy. So happy with yourself. But just giving your body that little bit of love and that attention and that beautiful stretch that your body so probably desperately needed. So really welcome to you for showing up and satisfied with yourself. I think you're better and fresher and lighter and a little bit more energized, ready to go and tackle the rest of your day. Really welcome to you.